Hey everybody, it's Steve. Welcome back. Today I was going to show you how to replace an incandescent bulb that had burnt out with an LED bulb. But as I did some research, I found out that LED bulbs have come down so much in price and they save so much money compared to incandescent bulbs that it actually makes sense to change all 5 bulbs in this room even though they're not burned out. I'll show you why and how and a couple different options that you can choose from. Coming up next, it's luckily something that even I can do. So why are we switching to LED? Well, the number one reason for me was saving money. This chart shows how incandescent bulbs stack up against the Sunco LED and the Amico wafer LED that I use and have linked in the description below. The Amico is the brightest, producing 1050 lumens compared to 850 for the Sunco and less than 700 for the incandescent. Despite being the dimmest though, the incandescent bulb uses a whopping 65 watts of energy. This compares to only 11 watts for the Sunco and 12 for the Amico. According to the Southern California Edison website, my average rate for 2026 will be 33.2 cents. I run the lights in my office at least 5 hours per day. So to calculate the cost per light, we'll start by taking the number of watts, multiplying that by the hours per day that you use the light, multiply it by the rate your electricity company charges, then multiply that by 365 days for the year, and then divide by 1,000. That's going to get you $39.38 per year for one incandescent bulb. By comparison, the Sunco will only cost me $6.66 and the Amico a little more than $7. In my office, I have 6 lights, so switching to LEDs will save me $40 per light or $240 per year in just this one room alone. Now, despite these huge savings, people were deterred from buying LED bulbs for a while due to their high upfront cost. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. The ones that I've used, both the Sunco and the Amico wafers, are under $5 a unit. And you can get that price down even more if you buy them in sets of 12 or 24. Alright, the next reason why LEDs are so highly recommended is their longevity. These types of bulbs are supposed to last 25 times longer than an incandescent bulb. That would be great. Save you time from having to get up on the ladder, save you money from having to buy more bulbs. Now, these things are also supposed to last much longer, but they're pretty new on the market, so I'm not sure how much we really know about the long-term prognosis, but there aren't any moving parts and there is less heat than a regular incandescent bulb, so I would assume that they would last longer by design, but again, it remains to be seen. The number 3 reason is heat. Incandescent bulbs generate a tremendous amount of heat, sometimes as much as 200 or even more degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, so just to show you the difference here, this is a little laser that registers temperature. So if I point it at the ceiling, for example, it tells me the ceiling is 67.3 degrees. If I point it at this incandescent bulb, I get 192.7 for this bulb. That is hot. By comparison, this is an LED fixture like the one we're going to put in. Let me show you that one. 92.7. So a significant difference, 100 degrees Fahrenheit we're talking about between the two lights. Alright, this light here is an LED bulb, just like this one, and let's get a reading on that. 90.9, so just about comparable to our other LED fixture. This is a fluorescent bulb in here, which looks like one of these with the 4 pins on it. Now, you can't swap this out quite as easily, it does require some wiring. I have another video on that. You can check that out here if you're interested. Well, let's just take a quick comparison here. And this one goes up to 105.1. So a little bit hotter than the LEDs, but not nearly as hot as the incandescents, which again can get up to the 200 range. So you want to keep your heat down, go LED. Another reason you might want to switch to LED really only applies to these wafer type lights. And it's that it comes with an entire fixture, not just the bulb. So if you have a can that is fading, is damaged in some way, just doesn't look right, or you don't like the baffling or whatever it is, this was actually going to come out and we're going to throw this away and it will be replaced by this piece here, which is a nice bright white brand new fixture. Okay, so hopefully you've decided to switch to LEDs. Now let's talk about the the two options that I've employed here in my house. The first is this, which is just a bulb that is an LED bulb. It looks similar to the incandescent. So if you switch one out, it's going to look the same. One of the downsides to these is that this comes with the whole housing, so your housing will be swapped out. So removing one and replacing one, if you have a set of 6 like I do, you're going to have a little bit of a mismatch. So that's something to consider. Some people say, well, I'm going to replace all 6 at the same time then, I guess. Well, if you want everything to look consistent, yeah, that's what you're going to have to do. One of the more subtle differences between these two types of fixtures is the ability to change the light quality or the light color that comes out of them. This particular bulb is set at 2700 Kelvin, which is a very warm light, very nice, very natural, and good for living rooms, bedrooms, and so forth. But if you want a brighter light, a more brilliant light, say for the kitchen, then you have to buy a different a bulb with a different setting, and there is no way to change this. They do sell some that look like this, that have a switch. They're a bit more money though, so keep that in mind. These Amicos, on the other hand, have a switch that's built in, and you can set between 5 different color ranges, starting at 2700 Kelvin all the way up to 6000. So a little bit more flexibility with these. One of the criticisms that is coming up a lot about LED lighting is future proofing. So some fixtures, like you'll see some of these that I saw at the Home Depot, have weird configurations. You're not going to be able to plug and play like a light bulb if a component of that fixture breaks down. And in other words, when one part goes, you're basically going to be throwing that thing in the trash. That has also been raised with regards to this type of fixture. So this is a fixture, and if it goes bad, you're going to have to take it out. That includes this outside part and this lens. So if you have 8 lights in your ceiling and you're going to replace one, you want to make sure you have a replacement that's going to look like and match up with the ones that you already have in your ceiling. So I'm not too worried because this seems like a pretty standard design, or a circular thing that's white, and the lens is nothing unusual about it. So I think this type of thing is probably okay. One thing I've seen a lot on Reddit about these wafer lights has to do with glare. Now, maybe it's just a personal preference thing, but it's a fairly frequent complaint that these wafer lights are just too harsh and too bright. Now, we like it that way. We like bright light. If you don't like it, you can, of course, go down to the 2700 Kelvin setting. I think that'll solve it a little bit. Or if you have a dimmer switch, then you can bring down the brightness a little bit. That might help. But if you're concerned about the glare, then this one may not be the one that you like the best. Go with the bulb instead. Now, speaking of dimmer switches, let's talk about that real quick before we do our install. All right, next I want to talk about dimmer switches. If you have a dimmer switch that you're going to be running these lights off of, make sure that the bulbs or fixtures that you're buying will in fact work with dimming. They're not always dimmable. Most of the bulbs are nowadays, but not all, so check that in the description. The ones that I have linked, they advertise as dimmable. Now, with that said, this Amico light, I installed it and it flickered on my dimmer switch. And it turned out that my dimmer switch wasn't compatible with this particular unit. Now, they do give you a list with the packaging that tells you the switches that are compatible, made by either Lutron or Leviton. So make sure that if you're going to be dimming, that you have a switch that will work with it, and that the one that you bought advertises as dimmable. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and install. Okay, a couple quick things before we get started. Number one, I'd always have the power off for the circuit that I'm working on, just in case, just the safest way to go. And then number two, gloves. Now these have a little bit of insulation to them, so if the bulbs are hot, it's going to help me in that regard. And then number two, when we switch out with the wafer lights, we're actually going to pull the whole can out, and some of those edges are kind of sharp, so that helps prevent any cuts or scrapes in that regard. Now make sure they're clean, because mine were just a little bit dirty, which let a kind of a stain get on the ceiling, which my eagle-eye wife noticed. So I was up there on the ladder with some touch-up paint the next day. So clean gloves, power off, let's get to it. So turning to the left, removing the old bulb, there we go. And then of course, screwing in, turning to the right. And there we go, just that easy. Now, what can happen sometimes is that the old light bulb, the base will break off in the socket if it's screwed in there really tightly. And I do have a video on how to remove those, so you can check that out here if you need that, if that happens. All right, we'll give this a quick test and make sure it's working, and then we'll move on to our next option. Okay, it's working, all done. That's the end of the job. Now, if you want to see how to do the wafer lights, that's coming up next, so stay tuned. So for our job today, I went ahead and got these Amico lights. Now, they are pretty inexpensive, and I've never heard of this brand before, but they get pretty good reviews on Amazon, so I went ahead and went for it. You can take a look at the other vendors that are out there and see if there's a different one you want that you have more confidence in. So far, so good for me. I do have a link for these up here in the left-hand corner. Now, make sure you buy the right size. These are the 5 and 6 inches, so measure your existing fixture first to make sure that it's going to be suitable for your spot there. Now, the other issue is that they have a couple different colors. It's white, black. They have them with or without a baffle. This one does not have a baffle. The one we put up in the ceiling does. And they generally will have a switch that sets the color. So before you go to do it, make sure that you've set the color to the spectrum that you like. 2700 Kelvin is very warm, and all the way up to 6000, which is very, very white, very, very bright. You can see on this picture here kind of what the range looks like. All right, so make sure you set that. I'll set mine for 2700, and we'll get to it. Now, the wafer lights will replace this whole housing, so there is a little bit more involved, and the first thing we need to do is we need to remove this old housing. So we'll remove the bulb first, and then we're going to pull this can down. And eventually it'll stop because it's held in there by a spring-loaded clip that we're going to squeeze, and then that will allow it to drop down. So if I do the left side or the right side first, I'll squeeze that, and then I'll squeeze the other side, and that will free it, and then it will come all the way down. And then it'll hang there because the light socket itself is also here wedged in here with this spring-loaded clip. So we'll now press that on either side, and that will slide it up and free it. All right, so this piece we no longer need because this housing part will be replaced with this. So this is done. All we have to do at this point is screw this in like a regular light bulb. So I'll take it apart, and I'm just going to screw it in like a regular light bulb. And then to connect, it's just going to be plugging it in, and there we go. All right, now to hold it up in there, we need spring-loaded clips on our wafer light, and let me get those, and we'll show you how to put those on. All right, so you have your light, and you'll grab 2 of these spring-loaded wire clips, and then on the back side, you'll see a little place where they'll snap in. So you're going to grab this, look for the square side or the flat side, and that's just going to slide into this notch right here, and you should hear it snap into place. Same on the other side, and there we go. All right, so that's ready to go, and then when we put it up in there, we will just squeeze this like that, and it'll go on the brackets. Okay, so we have our light ready to go with our spring-loaded clips. We'll go ahead and attach our connector here, our modular plug. So you can't do it wrong because they just don't connect. So swap that around, plug that in, and then you're going to squeeze these 2 metal clips, and as you push it up in there, make sure the wires go up into the hole. We'll squeeze, and then on the brackets that are inside the can, you'll just loop this around so that it stays in place. And then once they're in there, we just push up, and there it will stay nice and firm to the ceiling. If ultimately you do need to replace these, then you'll need like a pocket knife or something to slide under there, and then just pull it down a little bit so you can pull it back down. Okay, so that is it. Hopefully you found this video helpful, informative, or whatever. If you did, please hit that like button, please subscribe, and of course use our Amazon affiliate links that I show throughout the video or down below in the description. All that stuff helps out the channel tremendously, so we really do appreciate it. All right, until next time, this has been Steve for things that even I can do.